When we're grouping different pieces of information together, there are some ways of grouping it that are very, very logical. Often the way the textbook will give it to you is very logical. The way lecturers teach it will be very logical, but it doesn't make it intuitive. So let me give you an example here, right? Pericardium versus, what do you think I'll say next?
Heart.
So
Myocardium.
could be, right? But there's so at that point, it's kind of like, okay, well, first of all, if I didn't already have really good domain knowledge about that, will I be able to figure that out? Probably not. And especially if that's new information you're learning, then that's going to be additional cognitive resources for you to try to remember that grouping. So now you have to not only remember like what pericardium or myocardium means, but now you have to then remember that's the way that you grouped it, right? Whereas if I were to say, for example, outer versus, what do you think the next one's going to be?
Inner.
It just makes sense, right? You don't have to even exert any effort to think about that. If I say up versus down, if I say left versus right, if I say before versus after, we could add a during in there if we wanted to. This is intuitive, cause versus effect. And you can utilize domain knowledge, but we want to get it to the point where it is like obvious.